Kizomba is one of the most popular genres of dance and music originating in Angola. It is a derivative of traditional Angolan Semba with compas music from the French Caribbean islands. On this basis, Kizomba music emerged as a more modern music genre with a sensual touch mixed with African rhythm. Unlike Semba, Kizomba music is characterized by a slower and usually very romantic rhythm, sung generally in Portuguese. It was the Kimbundu name for a dance in Angola as early as 1894. Origin and evolution: Kizomba music was born in Angola in the beginning of the 80s unregistered trademark following the influences of traditional Semba, the French Antilles compas and Killer Panda, a traditional music from Angola. On this basis, Kizomba music emerged as a more modern music genre with a sensual touch mixed with African rhythm. Unlike Semba, Kizomba music is characterized by a slower and usually very romantic rhythm. Given that Angola is a former Portuguese colony, Portuguese is the principal language spoken in Angola and thus, also most Kizomba songs are sung in Portuguese. However, Kizomba songs initially were sung in Kimbundu and in other national languages of Angola. The dance style Kizomba was connected to the music style in 1981, through Bibi King of the Pace, percussionist of the SOS Band, a group that merged other styles such as merengue and Angolan rhythms to styles developed by contemporary groups, developing a sound more attractive and danceable, that then began circulating in the Angolan Kizombas. One member of this group was Eduardo Paim that after the dissolution of SOS, moved to Portugal taking with him the timing of the Kizomba rhythm, which began garnering fans in Lusitanian lands but was mistakenly confused with a variant of Zouk. Eduardo Paim. Confusions between Zouk and Kizomba: Confusions between Zouk and Kizomba arose after many Cape Verdean emigrants arrived in France in the late 80s, having had contact with compas music and having mixed it with the traditional Cape Verde style the coladera, creating the Cabo Love or Cola Zouk. A derivative of Zouk Love or the French Antilles compas, is very similar to Kizomba and typically sung in Cape Verdean Creole. It is this rhythm that was confused with Kizomba, and was heard in Portugal when Eduardo Paim arrived there and released his first record with Kizomba music. Currently, in Lusophone countries and communities around the world, due to it being difficult to distinguish between Zouk, Cabo Love and Kizomba, all these styles have been called Kizombas. However, in a rough and generic way, one can say that Zouk is sung in French and Antillean Creole, Cabo Love in Cape Verdean Creole and Kizomba in Portuguese or Kimbundu. Some of the festivals in which Kizomba plays a big part include Afeva, Africa Dankar, Budapest Kizomba Connection, Batuk, Estonia Tallinn Salsa Congress, Austria Vienna Sexy and Sensual Latin Festival, France, Germany, Bournemouth, Afro-Cuban Salsa Festival Norfolk and Renaissance London. Cultural influences: the influence of Angolan Kizomba is felt in most Portuguese-speaking African countries, but also Portugal, where communities of immigrants have established clubs centered on the genre in a renewed Kizomba style. Kizomba is now also quite popular among white people that come to these clubs in growing numbers. The Sao Paulo Ottoman Kizomba music is very similar to the Angolan, Juca being the most notable among the Sao Paulo Ottomans, and also one of the most notable performers in the genre. In Angola most clubs are based in Luanda. Famous Angolan Kizomba musicians include Nide van Darnem, Don Kikas, Carlo Pascal, Irma Poundos Verdades and Anselmo Ralph, among many others, but Bunga is probably the best-known Angolan artist, having helped popularize the style both in Angola and Portugal during the 1970s and 1980s. Kizomba dance: Kizomba is mentioned in 1894 in the Bulletin of the American Geographical Society of New York, which said the genuine Kimbundu name is Kizomba, that is, dance. In Angola in the 1950s the expression Kizombadas referred to a party. There was no association of the word to a dance or musical genre. However, the dance known as Semba, Rabita, Cabecula, Moringa, already existed in the 50s and 60s. Other dances coming from Europe like tango were practiced by the Portuguese colonials. The style of Kizomba now emphasizes a very smooth way of dancing with influences of tango steps, but one of the main differences is that the lower body, the hips, do forward, backwards and circle movements. People dance on the tempo, as well as on the offbeat and only occasionally used syncopation steps. Popularity: Kizomba is also performed in other Lusophone African countries, in Europe and in the USA. It is known for having a slow, insistent, somewhat harsh, yet sensuous rhythm. The result of electronic percussion. It is danced accompanied by a partner, very smoothly, slowly and sensuously, and with neither tightness nor rigidity. There are frequent simultaneous hip rotations coordinated between dance partners, particularly in the quieter refrains of the music. Countries where Kizomba is most popular include Angola, Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde, Portugal, Mozambique, Equatorial Guinea, Sao Tome Copyright and Principe, East Timor, Brazil and the Territory of Macau. Several individuals with a love of the Kizomba culture have been promoting it in other countries, such as Belgium and surrounding nations, where an independent Kizomba Love Academy has been created by Jose Copyright and Dongla. Famous Angolan Kizomba singers include Bonga, Andra Copyright Mingas, Lissa Vieira Dias, Nide van Darnem, Don Kikas, Carlo Pascal, Heavy C, Puto Portuguese, Maya Cool, Macias Damasio, Roy Helder, and Irma Poundos Verdades. Kizomba in Belgium. Kizomba has been present in Belgium since 2006. Kizomba in the UK. Kizomba has been present in the UK for about 20 years with Afro-Portuguese parties organised as early as 1991 in various venues around London. It only started crossing over to the public from August 2006 when Iris de Brito and Quinta Lima presented a showcase to the public at Scala, a nightclub in London. Kizomba in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, Kizomba has gained popularity in the last 4 years. Kizomba in the US. Kizomba has been present in the US for several years and the first ever Kizomba classes in the US started in 2010 at China Harbor, Seattle using the steps and teaching technique from the Nelson Campus Instructional Kizomba DVD levels I and II, but has seen a pronounced uptick in popularity starting in 2012. Interest in Kizomba is most prominent in larger urban areas. Hotspots include Boston, New York, Seattle, Los Angeles, D.C., various cities in Texas and Florida, Chicago, and Atlanta. Kizomba in Australia. Kizomba has been in Australia since around 2008 but only from 2012 has it started to gain popularity, particularly in Sydney and Melbourne. Kizomba in Malaysia. Kizomba was introduced in Malaysia a few years back but it officially took off back in 2011. Currently Malaysia has the most popular Kizomba dance scene across Asia. Kuala Lumpur being the capital has the biggest Kizomba crowd followed by Penang. One can request find Kizomba being danced in almost any Latin dance club's social dance nights in KL. More information on Kizomba in Malaysia visit Kizomba or Kizomba Kuala Lumpur. Kizomba in Estonia. Kizomba has been known in Estonia since around 2010 but it quickly gained popularity in 2011 when local dance schools and teachers started to offer regular courses for the interested. In 2014, Kizomba is easily one of the most popular styles among local Afro and Latin dancers, along crossbody salsa and sensual bachata which were clearly dominant before. Kizomba's popularity in Estonia has been fast-growing and, so far, with a strong and lasting impact. It can be credited to Nemanja Sonro, DJ and international dance instructor living in Tallinn, who has taught Kizomba there since 2011. Kizomba in Ghana. Kizomba is increasingly growing in popularity in the Latin dancing community. It was introduced by Ipo Anderson in 2012 who currently host weekly Kizomba nights, classes and workshop. Kizomba congresses around Europe, Spain. Sensual dance takes place in Madrid in December since 2009. Latin Dance Congress takes place in Pamplona in March since 2011. Krilla Production Krilla Beach Festival takes place in Barcelona in June since 2011. Feeling Kizomba Festival takes place in Madrid in May since 2012. BK Congress takes place in Benidorm in July since 2013. Kizomba Open takes place in Madrid in November since 2011. Poland, Warsaw Kizomba Festival takes place in Warsaw in April 2014 since 2010. France, Kizomba Swimming Festival takes place in Paris in July since 2010. Portugal, Africadana Section takes place in Lisbon in April since 2008. Like Festival takes place in Lisbon in September since 2010. Afro Fever Festival takes place in Lisbon in February since 2012. Latvian Sensual Dance Festival on the Wave takes place in Riga in May since 2012. Hungary, Budapest Kizomba Connection takes place in Budapest in August since 2011. United Kingdom, Batuque takes place in London since 2010. Italy, KIFE takes place in Trieste in September since 2012. Belgium, Kizomba Love Summer Festival and Kizomba Love Summer in the City takes place in Belgium in July since 2009. Ireland, Kizomba Abata the first https www.facebook.com 505390152914890/ Ref dashboard filter equals upcoming. Takes place in Dublin. Ghana, Kizomba Congresses around the United States, International SF Kizomba Festivals takes place in San Francisco in March and September since September 2012. These festivals were the first 100% Kizomba Semba festivals in North America. DC Kizomba Congress takes place in Washington, D.C. in conjunction with the DC Bachata Congress in August since 2013. References. External links, official site for Kizomba, Taraxina, Zouk and Semba, most influential Kizomba dancers, LAKIZ, Kizomba Basic Dance Instruction with Videos, Kizomba Dance School Milano, Katara Productions, Kizomba Festivals and Events, Kizomba Nation which now runs Africa Dankar, Kizomba in California.